I feel like I have so many things on my little desk over here.
Well, hopefully they stay on there. Hold on. I'm going to try to put my foot up in the chair, too.
I know. I really want to do that, too, but I have a dress on.
Yeah,
so
that's probably not
really
appropriate.
Not appropriate.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
You've joined B2B Happy Hour with your hosts, Stephen Brent May and Hami Arrington. This is the place where B2B marketing meets BYOB. So pour yourself a glass, pull up a chair, and let's get this happy hour started.
All right, thanks for joining us for the latest episode of B2B Happy Hour. As always, like, follow, subscribe, rate, review. That's how we build an audience. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Don't forget to share, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you like it, if you like hearing us, please share with your friends. They probably will like it, too.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, keep it to yourself. All right, Hami, what are we drinking on this week's episode?
We are drinking a cab. It is a Cabernet Sauvignon, in case anybody's wondering what that is. It is Trefethen. Which I can't.
Did you have a stroke?
Every time I say it, it's like it's just so funny.
Trefethen?
Trefethen. It is from the Oak Knoll District of Napa Valley, and it was a gift from a friend.
Yes. I feel like there's always new districts of Napa that I've never heard of. I've not heard of the Oak Knoll District.
Well, the Oak Knoll District is, it's indicating to me that it's very small. So.
All right, good. That might need a minute to breathe. I was going to say good first sip, but that might need a minute.
Oh, I don't know. I've been sipping on it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, but we'll let you know at the end of the episode what we think about the wine.
So what's been going on, Stephen?
Oh, God. What has been going on? I am so shocked that it's November.
I know. I can't believe that we have made it to this month. Especially, it's just been such a wild year for everybody, right?
Right.
And how I remember, January 1st or 2nd, and we were so excited about the year, and it just really has not gone the way that anybody has ever anticipated at all.
But what's crazy is I knew, I went to a Halloween party on Friday. So I knew it was October 31st. My sister's birthday was Sunday. I know what day that is. I know the date. And then I'm fully aware. And then last night after work, I went to vote because I realized it's election day. But it just didn't register in my mind as I was going through the week. I was like, I feel like we're still in October.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Yeah. So it is crazy.
I'm just excited that it finally cooled off in Houston.
Yes, that's...
It was like the never-ending summer. That's probably why you feel like, oh, wow, I can't believe it's November. I was on a call this morning with a client, and in this meeting, we always talk about how many weeks left are in the quarter. Right. And there are 8 weeks left in the quarter. There
are, as of today, 50 days left until Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. I haven't done any Christmas shopping yet.
I've bought one. I've actually bought the first gift.
Oh,
so I've already started my Christmas shopping.
So lucky.
My goal is to be done early this year.
Okay. That's a good goal.
Right. Normally I travel around the holidays, but this year I don't have any travel planned. So because that's usually the thing that motivates me to get my shopping done. Because I'm once I'm gone, I know I'm not going to finish anything. Yeah. But this year I'll be home for the whole thing. So even though I'm planning to get it done, we'll see.
There's a lot of deals out there already. We were talking about how Black Friday is now
Black November.
So.
Yeah. And then there was Prime Day in October.
Yeah.
And it's okay, so what do you wait for?
Right. So you just buy something whenever you see something, I guess. I guess that's really what it is. Yeah, it's a scam.
Yeah.
It's a scam. It's a scam.
But anyways, happy holidays. It's watch out for scams, people.
Right.
That's what's going on. We were actually talking about that this morning, text scam, because you listened to a podcast about
yes.
Yes.
Text scams. I thought you said tech scams, and I was searching my memory.
There are also tech scams, technology scams.
So tech scams, though. Yes, I was listening to this podcast the other day. I was talking about tech scams and how they're just so horrible. And the people that are actually running them are really bad people because they're not only trying to scam you out of money, they're also like trafficking people to be the people that are also texting you. And so I think that we should probably back up just real quick at what we're talking about. Those texts that you get from random people and you're like, I don't know who this person is. Like, I think one of the best ones I ever got was somebody had texted me pictures of these plants. They were like, hey, are these your plants? Can I buy them? Or something like that. And I was like, this is really sophisticated.
But also, if they knew how horrible you were with keeping plants alive, they would know this is the wrong audience.
Oh, absolutely. Immediately scam. I know that if you have ever come in contact with me, you would know that, no, those are not my plants.
The one I got this morning that led us to talking about it, it just said, hey, I found a great Chinese restaurant in your neighborhood. You want to go tomorrow? And, you know, I know about these scams, so I know not to respond to stuff. But a lot of people are like, oh, who is this? And then that's how you get roped in once you start the conversation.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and another tip about that, even if you know it's a scam and you're like, well, I'll show them, don't.
Right.
Because what happens is once you respond one time, and this is in this podcast, they confirmed it. Once you respond one time, then they know that you're a responder. And so somebody else will then text you about something.
Right.
And also just know that what this is about money. So if you're texting with somebody, and what they won't do is tell you immediately, hey, Steven, let's meet at this Chinese restaurant and give me some money. What they'll do is they'll talk to you for like a month or whatever. And then they'll be like, oh, I need some money before whatever reason. So just don't do it.
Well, it's a good thing I had Chinese for dinner last night.
Okay, good.
So
Oh, gosh, thank goodness.
already
that
once
you
this
already,
week, too.
Yeah.
Not interested. All right, Hami, we have been doing a 3-part series.
This is 3 of 3.
3 of 3. We are concluding the series this week. So let's dive in and talk about some marketing.
Yeah. Do you want to recap the first 2 real
Yeah.
quick?
So before we jump into part 3, we'd love for you to go back and listen to the last 2 episodes. Part 1 of the Clarity Before Tactics series is all about your audience. Who do you serve? And really getting clear on who your audience is, whatever you call that, personas, target audience. We talked through different ways to look at that. It goes well beyond demographics, well beyond.
Yeah.
So that's part 1. Part 2.
Yeah, part 2 is what problems do you solve? And it's not just what problems do you solve. We talked about way more than just the pain points of your customers or potential customers. It's more of how do you solve them? How do you solve those problems? How do those problems make your potential customer feel? And that's really that key to getting that message out there and resonating with them and getting them to take action. When you really understand who your customer is and what they're going through.
Right. So parts 1 and 2 are really about getting clear on who you serve and then how you serve them, what you're solving for them. Today, part 3, Clarity Before Tactics. How do you tie all of this together?
Yeah. How do you make it marketing?
Right.
And
that's really what we're talking about. It gets to, you know your audience, you know what you do for them. Now, let's tell that story. How do you let them know? How do you let those people know what it is you do?
I was teasing earlier is what we should probably call this is where strategy goes to die.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's, I don't want to start introducing terms, but like part 1 and 2, your audience, your problems, your positioning, all that, whatever terminology you use, that's really getting clear, building a strategy. And I mean, we've seen it. We can joke about that, like where strategy goes to die. But I mean, it really is like once you get to the marketing piece, if you've spent time developing this like 40-page book that goes on the shelf in November after it gets like quote unquote approved, the next time you look at it is the following year when it's time to build the strategy for, 2027.
Yeah.
So-
And I want to also mention is we don't really believe in this, 40 page or 80 page, I've seen 80 page strategy documents for the year because of this exact reason. Is because what happens is there's an inordinate amount of time that gets put into creating them.
Right.
And then literally nobody ever sees it again, including, and most importantly, the people that are actually executing on it. Right. And so then somebody says it's Q1. Okay. So we know that we have this basic campaign. We want to promote this. How do we want to talk about what do we want to do? And realistically, you've probably already talked about it and a basic idea. And if you already know your audience and what their problems are, et cetera, it should be pretty obvious on how you will be marketing to, like, for this product or whatever it is, whatever campaign it is that you're working on.
Right. And so we're not advocating for the absence of strategy. Like, that's not what we're saying. But the antiquated idea of spending 2 months of the year developing a document that rarely gets used or referenced, like that part doesn't work. As a early practitioner of agile marketing, like one of the tenets of the manifesto was to, be adaptable, fail and fail fast. Essentially change when the market changes. And I think 2020 was a perfect example of that. This year has also been a great one. If you go into the year with this, this strategy that you feel so convicted by and like you're unwavering in your dedication to your strategy, 2020 just like threw you for a loop because by March it was out the window.
Mm-hmm. And we lived it.
Right.
It actually happened to us.
So, we plan quarterly. We develop quarterly strategies. Sometimes we've even seen that, that can be too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not always.
I think that when we're talking about strategies and, looking at it from the beginning of the year, I think that there is value in looking at it. Okay, so this is the year. And so I would look at it as more like an editorial calendar, right? Where you're like, okay, so we know that budget season comes up towards the end of the year, and so our messages probably should be stronger on like year-end money or how to get your product in the budget for this next year for your prospects or whatever.
Right.
And so I think that there's value in that, but I think that if you're thinking that you're okay, I'm going to make a plan in January to run the actual campaign in August or September, I think that you're going to be off base very quickly.
Right. And the caveat to that is unless there are time box things like trade shows or events that, that have a specific date. But, I think along the lines of an editorial calendar too, looking at your year in terms of themes, what are the big launches that we've potentially got planned for this year, or what are the themes that we want to hit this year, and roughly when do we plan to get to those? Like, is it seasonal? Like, what are those timelines versus this campaign in August, like you said, because there are a million things that could affect that.
Right. Absolutely.
So does strategy, when you say this is the part where, marketing, that's where strategy goes to die, how can we avoid that?
I think that number one is you just have, first of all, is strategy is inherently inactionable, right? It's when because you're not putting any plans together. It's not like you don't know what your tactics are yet or anything like that. You're just like, okay, so this is what we're doing. This is the background information. This is what we have. But how do you tie that into the actual execution of it? So how do you do that? So I think that one of the things that we have kind of danced around during our conversations is we really like the story brand messaging framework, right? And so a lot of what we've talked about is that it's not exactly the same. I will say it's not exactly the same. Sorry, Donald Miller. We're not taking it. We're taking it and modifying it for our audience and really figuring out what works for us. But, once you have that brand script, right? We talked about who you serve, what problems do you solve. We want to also talk about what is the success? Like, if you do work with us, what does that life look like? And if you don't work with us, what does that life look like? And that will make it actionable once you put that strategy together, because then you have messages that that you want to send out to your audience.
Right. One of the things that stuck with me from the Story Brand Workshop the most, probably, and it's a very actionable thing, more than anything else, is this idea that when you get to the success and failure portions of, of the Story Brand framework, that list of failures, the list of things people want to avoid, those are perfect subject lines for your email marketing.
Oh, yes.
That has
Perfect.
always stuck with me
Yeah.
because those are the things that people, your potential customers, want to avoid in life, in their careers, in their job. And so when that's presented to them as a subject line, they're like, oh, snap. That's exactly what I don't want to happen. Let me open this email. You've read my mind.
Yeah.
That one stuck out to me. I would say probably more than anything else in the whole workshop. That's the one that stuck with me.
I agree. I think that's probably the most memorable piece of advice. I think the second one is, when you actually define what you do, literally just very simply defining what you do, put that at the top of your homepage. Literally, it's the first thing that they should read so that they know what you do. We talked about this at the last, we played a game actually
Right.
last time on, the headline on the homepage. And do you remember what some of them were, Stephen?
So I don't remember the exact headlines, but two of them were IT companies. One was an accounting firm, but when you read them, they all read they were very generic, very vague, and it's they were, whoever the copywriter or the marketer was afraid to just say we are a CPA firm that helps large businesses with tax strategy, audit, analysis, whatever, I don't know their exact services, but or we help companies keep their IT running and safe from cyber attacks. It was all this we help. There was something about not growing your team, but inspiring your team or something.
Or taking. I think one huge offender is always we take your team to the next level, and it's what is that? What does that mean?
Right, and it's you're you are a IT company. How are you taking our team to the next level?
Right.
Literally the only interaction you're going to have with them is answering support tickets or making sure they've got the right technology.
Right, exactly.
But it's this, I mean, I don't want to get into a tangent about, part two, but I think a lot of times companies are afraid in their marketing of simplifying it because then they're well, we don't seem like experts if we're not showing how smart we are or how clever. So where else can strategy turn into marketing? How do you tie these things together?
So one of the things that we are using it for, and I think that this is one of the huge advantages of AI, right? Is that you don't have to, let's just say in the past, a copywriter would have to look at the persona and then understand the persona, and maybe you have to have somebody that's working with you for a long time to really fully understand it, because it is nuanced and it does take time to understand these things, no matter what kind of company you are. That person would then take that persona and then take these copy points and then make into something that that makes sense for this audience. But now with AI, what you can do is you can create a custom GPT, because we're on ChatGPT mostly, creating a custom GPT, loading that into that custom GPT, loading that persona in, and then those problems and everything else. And then the copywriter can then put in those copy points, okay, this is what I want to say. And then that first draft of it is more about shaping what to say rather than starting from ground zero. And it's okay, so this first draft, I just need to get something out there and put something out there. Now that copywriter has in that first draft a better piece of copy that they can shape and edit into something they really like.
Okay, so let me ask this question. If a marketing department did put together a huge 40-page strategy document, could they load that into ChatGPT and then would that become more actionable?
I think that yes. On the surface, yes. In our experience, though, when you do give it so much context and so much information, it can get confused.
Yeah.
And so I would actually break that up. That's the advice that I would give is I would break that up into smaller pieces. And I think that would probably yield a better experience. That's not to say that in a year, 6 months from now, that won't be different. Just today with the limitations of the system, because, AI can't do everything. It's not actually a person.
Right. Really? I was hoping it was.
We all were. Okay, Stephen, I want to ask you, if you were to choose, you had to choose strategy or tactics, what would you choose?
I think that is, what is the right word?
Stupid question.
No. What a dumb question. Of course it's strategy. No, it is. I think it's, oh my God, I can't think of the word. It depends on the situation. It's situational.
Sure. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Got it.
God, that was a
Depends.
journey.
It depends.
Right. Yeah. It's situational. So if I have the runway and I'm coming in somewhere brand new and we're launching something 6 months from now, I would probably choose strategy. If I'm in the middle of 2025, this dumpster fire that we've lived in this year, I'm probably going to choose tactics because I don't have the luxury of pausing to do strategy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I can name any company that's ever really had the luxury of just pausing everything and saying, all right, let's just focus on strategy.
Never.
And so sometimes all you have is the ability to do tactics. And if that's all you've got, the runway, budget, resources, whatever, for timeline, then I think it's better to just keep your name out there and keep marketing moving versus trying to wait until you've got this perfect package that at the end of the day may still not be perfect because you're not testing anything yet.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. All the things that you said. I have a tangent though.
Okay.
Because we said it depends. The other day I saw a Depends ad. Number one, I'm not sure what I've been looking at that I'm getting a Depends ad. But maybe the second part will give you some clarity. Speaking of clarity, Katherine Heigl was in it.
Interesting.
Yes.
I feel like I've seen a similar ad, maybe not Depends, but where I felt like the celebrity endorsement was an odd choice for the product. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't expect.
Last week, I sent you a screenshot. Heidi Klum and Butterfinger.
Yeah, that may have been it. Do you think you've been targeted for Depends ads because you threw out your hip coloring your hair?
I wasn't coloring my hair. I was drying my hair. Maybe, yes. I did throw out my hip while I was drying my hair. And I was standing, by the way. I was not even hunched over or anything.
So, I mean, maybe that's why that targeting is on point.
Maybe they know more about me than I know about me.
I mean, you have been throwing around words like, I've thrown out my hip, my shoulder is hurting, perimenopause. You've been saying all these words, so your phone has picked this up, and they're you know what she needs? Incontinence support.
Yes.
So
Katherine Heigl, she seems to be the same age as Katherine Heigl.
She was probably a Grey's Anatomy fan, and will really relate to this.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that it should be important to note that we both love strategy so much. Just love it. We love thinking things through and solving problems. But at the end of the day, we also love winning. And the only way that you win is by taking action on that strategy into the tactics, right?
Well, and I think it's also important to note that you can still have strategy with tactics without spending 12 weeks doing it. You can be strategic in your tactics. Just because you're saying we don't have the luxury of creating personas right now, that doesn't mean you can't launch a strategic campaign. You can still build a strategy. And I mean, I think that's how we approach everything. Everything we do is strategic at some level. Mm-hmm. It's never just, well, let's just do it and see what happens. And so I think you can have strategy in smaller kind of bite-sized chunks too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So because, and I think we'll get to this point, sometimes strategy isn't actually what you need.
What do you need? I'll take the bait. What do you need?
Well, I think sometimes people say, we want a strategy. We need a strategy. What they actually want is just a plan.
Right. They just want to make sure that you have a handle on it.
Right.
Are you just randomly putting things out there? Or is there actually a reason behind the things that you're doing?
Right. You recommended that we use this color for this ad. Why? Oh, no, I just liked it. They're going to be like, okay, let's change that back to our brand color. But if there's a reason, and sometimes like the strategy is we just want it to stand out, because if the background is white and you're scrolling on LinkedIn, it just blends in with the feed. So we need it to be a different color so that it stops someone from scrolling.
Yeah.
It's not a long drawn out strategy, but there's intention behind it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I think that I'm going to stop here. This is important. If you have a reason for doing things, and if your boss or your client asks you for, why did you do this? What was the reasoning behind this? And if you have a reason for this, you look very smart.
Right.
You look so smart. And then your boss or client or whatever will say, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, so they thought this through.
So I'll give a live example. We have a client. They are doing a webinar next week. Every other webinar, we've called it a webinar. We saw a deck from Jay Schwedelson at Inbound where he showed some data that said calling it a live event increases the registrations by 22%. So we, in this round of promotion, called it a live event. The client asked the question, oh, I hadn't seen that before. Why are we saying live event and not webinar? And when we shared the reasoning, the client was like, oh, okay. But
Cool.
if we were just like, wanted to try something different, I feel like we would have gotten pushback.
Yes, exactly.
And so, it's important to always have that intention or that reason why. Mm-hmm. And again, it doesn't have to be, we didn't write a novel about why it's called a live event. It was just, we saw some data and wanted to test it.
We didn't need a 40-page document to have a strategy behind it.
There's our strategy. We are testing something based on new information we were presented that we didn't have the last time.
Right. And I think that it goes to show that you don't have to have Jay Schwedelson telling you to do this. I think that when you are doing marketing, if you do say, we are testing something, if you want to try it out, you can. But just know that you need to be intentional about how you're testing it out.
So maybe it's a lukewarm take, or maybe it's a pro tip. I don't know. If you don't have a reason, just always default to, oh, well, it's an A/B test.
Yeah.
If you get asked the question and you're like, I actually don't have a reason for doing that, just say, testing.
We're just testing it.
A/B testing. That
I feel like lukewarm take. Is it an ethical life pro tip?
How to be a bad marketer. Just claim you're A/B testing things that don't work.
It's terrible.
Everything that fails moving forward, it's an A/B test. So, I mean, my lukewarm take was, about people don't always need a strategy. Sometimes they just need or want a plan. But I think you had a different lukewarm take, right?
Yeah. So my lukewarm take is, if your team is not using your strategy, then it's a bad strategy. I mean, don't you think?
Maybe bad is a harsh word or dramatic.
No.
You don't? Okay. Is that why it's lukewarm?
I guess it should be a hot take.
Well, what is the other saying? If the client can't see the strategy, then there isn't one.
There is no strategy.
Right.
Yeah. So if your client doesn't see the strategy, then there is no strategy.
Right.
Meaning that if you just present something without any justification, without any background, then that means that there is no background and you just put it together and threw it together. That's going to be the assumption literally every time.
Right. So I don't know if I agree that if the team can't use the strategy, it's a bad strategy, because sometimes it might just be that the team doesn't know how.
Does that make you a bad boss?
I mean, I think there's a leadership gap there if you can't explain how to use the strategy. So, all right. Well, that is a lukewarm take. But yeah, I think it's important at the end of the day, when we're thinking about this whole idea of clarity before tactics, I mean, the ultimate goal is to be clear on where you're trying to go, what you're trying to accomplish, because if you don't know that from the beginning, then it's impossible to get there. So if you're not clear about what you're trying to even achieve with marketing, it's going to be really hard to achieve it because you're not even going to know where to start. Whether that's a strategy, a plan, a to-do list, you gotta get clear.
Yeah. Clarity before tactics.
Before. I think that's the operative in that whole thing. If you only remember one word, it's before.
Yeah.
So, all right, Hami, do you want to play a game?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This week, I thought we could play Marketing Mad Libs.
Okay.
This might be
Okay.
This might be corny.
Well, that's my favorite type of humor is corny humor.
Right. So I put together 2 Mad Libs.
Okay.
So I'm going to read off some words
Okay.
and you're going to give me your words for this. And then you can ask me the ones that, I gave you one.
Okay.
Then we'll fill in our Mad Libs and read them back to each other. And they're both marketing related.
Okay.
My topic is the campaign from hell, is what I'm asking you about.
Okay.
So I need you to give me a number.
29.
Okay. An adjective.
Flowy.
An emotion.
Anger.
A random celebrity.
Demi Lovato.
Okay. And then a food item.
Croissant.
Okay, perfect. All right. I will fill these in.
Okay, so with mine, so first, dollar amount.
32.
Marketing activity.
Trade show.
Famous villain.
Dr. Evil from Austin Powers.
Ooh, that's a very specific one.
Yes. You don't
Wait,
have to
that's the
put
big
from
one,
Austin
right?
Powers. He's the
The big one?
The $1 billion,
Yeah, doesn't he
yeah.
have he's a mini-me.
mini-me.
Yeah. Unexpected object.
Wine glass.
I don't know if that fits.
Is
'Cause
that?
that is expected.
That's expected. Unexpected object. Stress ball.
Okay. Social platform.
What was the one? Periscope. Was that one?
Yes. Yes, I
That-
think it was.
Is that a short video platform?
No, that was
Vine.
That was Vine. Yeah, that was 6-second videos.
But there was one called Periscope. Let's go with Vine.
Okay.
Vine.
Okay,
That was
fine.
like pre-TikTok.
Yes, it was
Okay.
a precursor to TikTok.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
obscure social platform. Vine.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
So I'm going to take your answers and plug them into this Mad Lib called the Campaign from Hell.
Okay.
Okay. We thought the campaign would crush it, but instead it delivered 29 clicks, flowy leads, and an angry client who said it reminded them of Demi Lovato eating a croissant. I mean, that sounds like a pretty bad campaign.
Yeah, that's a really bad one.
I mean, 29 leads.
20. It depends on
What was the?
how long.
Yeah. I wonder
And-
wonder what the goal was. I wonder if they were clear.
Yeah, I don't know. See, if you had clarity, I
Right.
don't know.
So we don't know. Like maybe that's a good campaign.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, they got
be.
Demi Lovato.
Yeah. Eating
Yeah.
a croissant.
Right.
Okay, so I'll read you mine.
Okay. This is the title of this Mad Lib is the budget meeting.
The budget meeting, yes. Okay, the budget meeting. When the CFO asked why we needed $32 for a trade show, I said, because if we don't, our competitors will hire Dr. Evil to run stress ball ads on Vine.
I mean, that seems like that could put somebody out of business.
Actually, yeah. I could totally see stress ball. Like, the stress ball would be Dr. Evil.
Right.
And then he could be like this, doing something like this, like stressed out.
I
way.
would love to know what you could do with $32 at a trade show and why the CFO is so pressed about $32 for something that you've probably already invested 6 figures in.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Calm down, CFO.
With CFOs, like, I mean, I like them because they pay our bills, but at the same time, a lot of times they are like anti-fun
I mean,
for marketers.
yeah, they have a lot of opinions.
Yes.
All right, so we have finished up our 3-part series, Clarity Before Tactics, but it's not the last time you're going to hear about these concepts.
No.
Yeah.
This is really the basis of our marketing and the way that we've always operated is we need clarity before we start jumping into tactics. And so this series is really important to us. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. But this is really our philosophy, the foundation of all the marketing that we do.
And up next, we're not abandoning the whole concept of clarity and, getting clear about things, but we want to talk about getting ready for 2026.
Yeah, it's here. It's upon us.
It's 57 days away, I think, as of this recording. So on the next episode, we're going to be talking about just this idea of what can you do to start getting ready for marketing in the new year? I mean, you're probably already deep in it. So let's talk about it together.
I've had a lot of questions about budgets.
Yeah.
And
same.
what are you going to do? What are we doing? What do we need?
The what do we need? How do we stretch it? What do we need to invest in? That's come up a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll dive into that. But speaking of diving into it, Hami, what did you think about this wine?
You mean Trefethen?
From Oak Knoll County, Napa?
No, it's I don't think I showed it earlier. Actually, it's Oak Knoll District. Trefethen. Trefethen. It's so funny. I liked it.
I did too.
I don't think it needed to breathe. I feel like it stayed the same throughout our conversation.
I disagree. I think it mellowed a little the more it sat.
Okay.
But no, I enjoyed it. I mean, I love a California cab.
No, same.
For the most part, so.
California Pinots and California cabs, the best.
Yeah, and Oregon Pinots.
I like Oregon Pinots. It's just different.
Yeah, Russian River Valley Pinot.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah. I like Alexander Valley, too, but they're right next door to each other. So.
Right. So, yeah, if you're interested in sending us wine, Russian River Valley Pinots, Willamette Valley Pinots, Napa cabs.
Yeah.
All good choices.
We'll take all of them, though, actually. So if you want us to feature your wine.
Yes, we're here. Send us a message. We'll send you the address. And just so you know, it is legal to ship wine to Texas.
Yes, it is.
But we'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget, like, follow, share, rate, review, subscribe everywhere you listen to podcasts. Cheers.
Cheers.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you at the next happy hour.